Kimberly Howard. Please come on in. Get the mic. Get the mic.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
We
Yes, ma'am.
can.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Hello. Sorry, you guys. Who is a mompreneur here? Stand the F up. Just
You
kidding.
good? You good? You good?
Um, yes.
Oh,
So,
excuse me.
my name is Kimberly Howard, and I give it up to the parents that, have to go pick up kids around this time, but still make it on this call. So I commend each and every person on this call. Thank you for being here because as you build your business, you guys, you do have to sacrifice, right? And you gotta do what you can to get into these meetings. So, welcome everyone. We only have 13. Come on, you guys. We need some more people. Pod call. So, if you don't see your business partner on, let them know that we are starting. Mr. Hans Augustin will be doing a great training for us, right? So, let's get started, you guys. It is 5:05. Some Zoom keeping guidelines, right? So if you can, please turn on your cameras, right? If possible, stay safe. If you're driving, kindly mute your line when you're not talking. Dress for success, right? This is your business. So we want to make sure you look sharp, especially during our pod call. And then also, like Miss Princess said, take lots of notes. So get your and pad ready because Mr. Hans Augustin will be just dropping gems tonight, actually diamonds, and also our sharers that we will be spotlighting tonight. All right, so these are your Supreme Team pod leaders, right? This is the year of expansion. As you guys know, we are in basically every part of the country. Okay. So you have Mr. Suni Sumad, our executive business director, who always leads us from the front. He is in Texas. We have Mr. Brian Swisher. He is in the Carolinas. We have Mr. Mekki. He is in the Bay Area. We have myself, Kimberly Howard, in the Bay Area as well. We have Mr. Sean Hoyer. I believe he's in Pennsylvania, somewhere in the East Coast. But we have Mr. Hans Augustin. I call him the tri state area because he's going to take over New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all those places. So he is in the East. And we have my sister Map, who is our host tonight. She is in Southern California. And then we have Mr. Akil Rashid out here in the Bay Area. So they always say, hey, you are in business for yourself, but you are not in business by yourself. So reach out to a business director, right? If you have any questions or concerns, right? So today, you guys, is our supreme national meeting because we are building a national team, right? As you see, Miss Princess Map was our intro, and then we have Mr. Suni Sumad who be doing our recognition. Mr. Hans Augustin will be closing us out with our training, and we have two wonderful spotlights tonight, Mr. George Ridley and Miss Taniqua Boyd. So I am excited to have them share tonight. All right. This is the Supreme Training calendar and cash flow. As you see, there's a lot of things that's going on here, you guys, right? But this is our system. This is what builds um, our business, right? So utilize this, right? Leverage these systems. We have the new agent orientation. that happens every Monday. Please register. If you are a new agent, we want to make sure you register ahead of time so that we know that you are there. We also have the Wealth Formula by Mr. Suni Sumad. That is every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central. We have our winner circle that is our mastermind call, getting our day started right. That is every Tuesday to Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, um, 10 a.m. Central time, and then I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, as you see, we're all in all different time zones here. Um, we have our $1,000,000 Baby workshop, you guys. That is happening right after this call at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So get your people on. If you have parents, grandparents that are looking to save for their kids and grandkids, definitely the workshop is where you want to be tonight. We have Mr. Brian Swisher. He does our Small Business Retirement Program Academy every Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Central Time. We have our three-way LinkedIn system. Um, Actually, that's usually done by Mr. Steven Taylor and Suni Sumad, right? That happens every Thursday at 12 o'clock noon Central Time. Our getting started right now, I believe, Mr. Samad, are we changing that or is still on Fridays?
We're gonna be changing it to Saturday starting this week. So you guys will see promotion for that. Yep.
Yep, perfect. So yes, getting started right will be changed to Saturday mornings now. So just make sure that you always look at your WhatsApp for any changes, right? Because this call, right, was changed to Wednesday because now we are linking arms with our Infinite companies on Mondays. So we also have our business opportunity overview that happens every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay. And we also have our Six Figure Academy Education Retirement Group. How are people getting 30 opportunities which you will hear from Miss Boyd tonight, right? From an event. You definitely want to attend that every Saturday, and that happens 11 o'clock Pacific time. We have the Welch Showdown. So this was also moved. This is done by Mr. Hans Augustin, where he talks about IUL versus real estate. Very informative webinar. If you know people in the real estate industry, definitely you want to have them attend Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Then we also have our Supreme Prayer Call. This is where we start our day in prayer, right? We have a foundation where we put God first, right? But if you need prayer, Mr. Hans Augustin does that call every Monday through Friday. And for us, it's 6 a.m. Pacific time, but we're still on, right? And then so it's 8 o'clock Central Time. And then we have our national ERG meeting, Education Retirement Group, where we learn from people that are out on in the schools, right? How are we utilizing the system that we have here with Educational Retirement Group, hearing from people that are moving and shaking in that space. And that happens every single Monday at 8 o'clock Pacific time. All right. So this is just our cash flow calendar. Take a picture of this. Okay. Basically, it's just all in one page. So if you are new to our platform, make sure you have this available to you. We also have our Supreme Life Services Library. So, for those of you who are not able to attend these trainings live, we do have a library where you can access these trainings when you find the time, right? A lot of people on our platform work full time, but we have the trainings available to you. They are recorded, so please ask your business director for this library so that you are able to get access to the trainings while you're working or other things like that. Perfect. Awesome. So I love this part because these are the movers and shakers of the week. We recognize each and every person that are really doing things in their business, right? We celebrate every small win here. We love recognition. And tonight it is being done by our only executive business director, Mr. Suni Sumad, who is always leading us from the front. So, Mr. Sumad, take it away.
Yes, yes. Can you guys hear me? Good stuff. Good
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
Everybody
Let's go.
unmute your lines, you guys. Listen, super excited about this time of the week. You know, this is where we really figure out the proof in the pudding, right? So go ahead, you guys, unmute your lines, right? It's okay to go crazy, okay? If you lose your mind tonight and your family looks at you like you're weird, tell them, yes, I signed up to be weird because I want to make about $1 million a year. So you got to be a little weird to make $1 million a year, right? Because normal people are broke, okay? So let's not be normal, okay? Let's go a little crazy. Let's shake up the monotony a little bit, okay? Let's not go with the flow. So January 26th through February 1st, 2026, you guys. Let's open up and get those hearty emojis. Right, okay, wow.
Let's go.
Yes, put it open. Yes. Leaders from the front. Suni's hard.
Awesome. Let's go, Mr. Akil Rashid, 2,963. All right, we got Miss Kimberly Howard at 2,543 points.
West Coast is on fire.
Congratulations. Who do we have next? Okay, let's go, Miss Sherry Baskerville. Let's go, Tennessee, 2,023 points. Let's go, Miss Elena Taylor, all the way out of North Carolina, 1,176 points. And then we got Mr. Sean Hoyer, the gentleman who went BD in his truck. Okay, 1,680 points. Let's go, let's go.
Sir. Let's go.
We can do it in a truck. Anybody
Let's go, Miss Howard.
That's my point. All right, Kimberly Howard. Let's go,
Kimberly.
Let's go, Kimberly. For Life at Submitted. Congratulations. Let's go, Miss Elena Taylor with 3. Guys, this last week, by the way, last 7 days, right? We got folks going to work. All right, listen, let's go, Miss Rhonda. Out of DC. This young lady is the future mayor of DC, but she's also the application. Way to go, Miss Rhonda Hamilton. Hold on one second. I got to take a picture of this. Don't change the slide. I got to take a picture of this and send this to her, right? Because I'm super proud of this young lady. All right, and then we got Mr. Suni Samad with 2 life.
That guy right there. That guy right there.
Who's that guy? I mean, I don't know. All right. Then we got Miss Sherry Baskerville with 1 app. We got Miss Kendra Almaraz, right? Training associate. 1 Life app. I love to see that, you guys, from new agents. Sean Hooks, 1 Life app. And Akil Rashid, 1 Life app, you guys. So let's go. Let's grow. Let's go. Let's grow. Now let's get into the annuity business, okay? Some of you guys sleep on this part, but we shift from life apps to annuity business, and then we start it all over again, right? Mr. Brian Fisher, 6 annuity apps, okay? That man is in the business of moving money, all All right, annuity
Let's
apps as
go.
well.
All
All right, we got
right,
Mr. Sean Boyer, we got Mr. Akil Rashid, we got Mr. Brian Royal out of the where's Brian Royal from? New York, DC, one of those, right? From East Coast to West Coast. Let's go, Miss Princess. All the way to California. She's also in the business of moving money. Who do we have here? We got Miss Marina Smith, doing annuity app as well, moving money from one place to the next, and then no other than Miss Elena Taylor out of North Carolina. Okay, you guys want to know? Let's go, let's grow. All right, so agents who pre-registered for convention. Now, this is the unofficial list. Okay, I just want to be clear because the official pre-registration just rolled out. So next week, this won't exist. We gonna really see who got pre-registered. Okay, so agents who pre-registered from last event, let's go. Let's roll call. So we Samad Hans Augustin. Awesome. Hey, give us a round of applause. Don't sleep on us. I didn't no days, no
Wrap
haze,
it up.
no none of that, right? Yeah. Don't sleep on us. Kimberly Howard, let's go.
Good job, ladies.
Congratulations. See you guys in Dallas. Akil Rashid, Marlena Smith. Let's go. Let's grow. See you guys
I'll be there.
next. Gene Santos, James Clark. Let's go. Let's grow. See you guys in Dallas. Hey, you guys ain't cheering too loud for the Vegas registration.
I see you.
We went from a 10 to like a 3. Let's go. Dr. Shinobi. Let's go. Registering. You guys, these are people who are making sacrifices. They're putting their money where their future is. Miss Lori Berezo, Sherry Baskerville. Let's go. See you guys in Dallas. Come on. Who else we got? We got Miss Davida Yamas. Bella Papalani. Let's go. Let's grow. We got Miss Anna Bobby. Miss Sean. Let's go. Let's grow. Next. Let's go. Let's grow. Next. Let's go. Let's grow. Miss Mary Grace Anasco. Miss MGA herself. Miss Robin. Let's go. Let's grow. Pre-register. This is going to be an event of a lifetime. This is going to be life-changing. You will not come back the same. Mr. George Ridley, Yura Munoz. Let's go, let's grow. All right, Mr. Dexter Taylor, Mr. Stephen Taylor. We're going to be in Dallas. Okay, some of you guys will be walking the stage. Some of you guys are going to be cheering from the crowd. Some of you guys are going to be training. All right, but it's going to be an amazing event. Betty Hall, Mr. Miguel. Let's go, let's grow. Right, some of you guys are going to be BDs by the time we get there. Some of you guys are going to be field directors by the time we get there. Miss Ashley Gathers, Miss Tira Bali, let's go, let's grow. Some of you guys are going to be equity partners by the time you get there. Miss Mola, Miss Key Washington, we got Pennsylvania, South Carolina, let's go, let's grow. Awesome. Next slide. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Gabriella Antunes, okay? That's one of the people that I'm looking forward to seeing across the stage as a PD. Miss Penny Peloponi, let's go, let's grow. Let's make it happen. All right, and then we got Miss Coco. All right, somebody else that I expect to see great things from by the time we get to convention. All right, so you guys, I'm going to turn it back over to our host with the most, Miss Kimberly Howard.
Amazing. Give it up for all the wonderful people that made it happen in their business this week, right? And like Mr. Samad said, right? That was pre-registration. So it's time. It's our time to get registered, you guys. I have already registered. I know Mr. Suni has registered, right? So let's go. We want this team to have the most people at convention. We need to make a name for ourselves, right? We will be 100+ deep, right? Last year we were at 50. We need to double that up. So I challenge you guys right now after the call or right now during the call, if someone can drop that link in the chat, register right now. You do not want to miss the convention. That is actually what changed my business. That's actually what shifted my mindset to hit equity partner at the end of the year because of convention, you guys. Because of what I've heard, right? The people that I associated myself with during that time was so powerful. So, like Mr. Samad said, this is a life-changing event. It's going to be life-changing, right? So many people, as you hear Miss Princess Map too, right? From her previous event in Vegas. These things are so important because it will change the trajectory of your business, you guys. So I challenge each person here, get registered tonight, and we want to see everyone's names so that we can recognize them next week. So let's go, Supreme Team. All right. So tonight we're going to be spotlighting two amazing individuals. Okay, I'm gonna have ladies first, Mr. George. You know, ladies always comes first. But I just love hearing this young lady. She reminds me of, you know, home. I love her energy, the way that she talks. She's just so direct. And I feel like, hey, if anybody talks to Miss Boyd, everyone's gonna get a policy because she's gonna tell you you need this. Miss Boyd, you have been crushing it. I seen that you just came from a sweet treat event as well, but you just been having a lot of success in the last couple of months, right? And I heard a little bit about, what you've been doing at our ERG call, but what has shifted your mindset, Miss Boyd, the last couple of months, right? Because I know that you were gone for a little bit, right? But then you came back. What shifted where you're like, hey, I need to come back to this space to build my business?
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. What shifted and why I said, you know what? I wanted to change my situation, and I know if I change other people's situation, then it would change my situation. So I know how powerful, you know, on like the product that we have. And I just said, let me just share it with as many people as possible. I feel like, a lot of people don't know, how to retire better and understand their pension. So the more that I share this with people, the happier that I am.
Yes,
Mhm.
amazing. How many opportunities, Miss Boyd, have you gotten maybe since the beginning of the year, since January?
You know what? I didn't even count, but I did.
Look, she didn't
Honestly,
even count. That means it's a
but
lot.
I but I will say this, and just from two events that we did last week, I got 65 cards.
Oh my goodness. 65 cars. Let's give
Hmm.
it up for Miss Boyd. Do you know
Whoop,
that
whoop, let's go.
her
Wow, let's
six
go.
her 65 cards, I'm gonna, because I used to buy pension leads, that would have cost $3,900, Miss Boyd. But
Mhm.
you have created that because of what you learned here in our system, where
Yeah,
you created these opportunities for free. Maybe just buying a little bit of donuts, but still,
that's it.
you didn't pay $60 for them, right?
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Amazing, amazing, you guys. And what habits have you been doing lately that that made you go out there and continue to get these leads? What
Honest,
consistent habits do you have? Give us some
honestly,
little nuggets or diamonds.
honestly, I'm just really just showing up, and I am, trying to get in front of as many people and as possible. What I do is I'll make a list of schools, like, so let's just say Hackensack, that's the city in New Jersey. I'll make a
Yes.
list of all the public schools in Hackensack, and I'll just pick a day that I'm like, you know what, I got on some comfortable shoes, and I'm gonna see
Mhm.
if I can at least book at least 2 sweet treats a week, or maybe just one. But my goal
Yes.
is to try to hit all schools within like 2 weeks. Like,
Yes.
let's just say one week I'll hit like 4 or 5 schools, and then the next week I'll hit another 4 or 5 schools. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure that I'm trying to hit all the schools in that area so that they can get to know my face.
Yes. Did you hear that, you guys? She said, get some comfortable shoes. So
Mhm.
that's number one. Get your sneakers.
Mhm.
Make a list, right, of the schools in the district where you want to go
Mhm.
to and just
Mhm.
go out there. I mean, it's that easy. Is it that easy, Miss Boyd?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I don't complicate it. I really don't.
Amazing. And I mean, as you see, you guys, this is a product of our ERG Academy, right, Miss Boyd? This is what is
Mhm.
taught in our academy every Saturday. So whoever has not attended academy, make sure that you guys are going so that you can get 60 plus leads for 2 events. I mean, that is amazing. Well,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Miss Boyd. We appreciate you, and we can't wait to see what happens with all those opportunities. I mean,
Thank you.
actually I already seen you have already submitted some applications. So you guys, the system works. Just as long as you guys create activity, results will follow. And this is what Miss Boyd has done in our platform. So I thank you for sharing.
You're
Amazing.
welcome. Thank
Go,
you.
let's go, Miss Boyd. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sis.
Congratulations. All right. The next person we have up today, oh, Mr. Ridley. See, we went from New Jersey, now we back in Texas. As you see, he's ready. He's ready to punch something out. And he's been knocking these applications out in the last week. I mean, this man too, he followed a bus, you guys. I mean, if this is your business, right? You He went after it. He literally followed a bus to a bus barn so that he can get the opportunities, and now his activities had led to some results this week. So I am just so proud of you, Mr. Ridley, right? I mean, I've seen your growth here over the last couple of months. I mean, me and you had one-on-one talks, and just seeing your growth and your determination, your commitment to your business, no matter what challenges that you face, you still show up. And that's what I appreciate about you. You're there at every meeting. I see you ready with your pen and paper during our winner circle. You have always your camera on. So you are definitely an example to a lot of people that, hey, if Mr. Ridley can do it, right, you guys can do it too. So Mr. Ridley, let's talk. Let's give him some diamonds, right? Some 24 karat diamonds tonight. What have you been doing in your business? I mean, you closed, I believe, like 5 policies this week.
Yesterday. Yeah, Suni and I. So
Wow.
thank you, Miss Kim. I appreciate it, you guys. Like Suni always says, I did not pay her to say all of that stuff, but she is my sister, and we've had a lot of great conversations and stuff. And I look up to her. She doesn't even know it, but I look up to her for her business acumen, what she does all the time. But I guess more than anything, Miss Kim, I had a setback for Vegas, and that kind of, I was ready to go, and then at the last minute, some things happened. I didn't get a chance to go, so I was really, really disappointed. But I took that, and I decided to go back to the drawing board. And like I showed you guys yesterday, uh, I've got all of these, that
Yes.
that I started working through. The lady that Suni and I talked to and got the 5 policies on yesterday. She's one of the Bus Depot people, and I want to tell you guys, I want to clarify that Bus Depot story. I did follow those guys in there because it was on my way, always going down to the mall or whatever. I saw these guys pull in, went by there multiple times and couldn't figure out a way to get in there. Pulled by there one day. The lady's like, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Well, I'm looking for the bus people." She's like, "Oh, park your car. Come on, I'll walk you in." She walked me in. I met the manager, the assistant manager, dripped on them for about a month, and they finally let me in there. And this is, what the result is. The people
Wow.
are really starting to. I guess they're talking amongst themselves. We've helped a couple, me and Mr. Hans, me and Mr. Suni, and now they're just opening up and giving us the business. That's basically what's happening.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I don't know if I would follow up us, but the courage that you have to know where, obviously the main part here was building relationships, right?
Yeah.
You
Right.
dripped, like you said, you dripped on them a couple months. I heard this story a couple months ago. So don't give up, you guys, right? They might it's sometimes it takes time. If they see
Mhm.
your face all the time, right? And like how we're doing in the schools, then yes, things will open. Doors will open for you. So
Yeah.
continue to do that. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, Mr. Ridley. Okay.
Okay.
What lessons from your failures has helped you grow over the past month?
I think more than anything else is number one, to look within, and then also to leverage my leaders and not to stay there. I mean, you want to see what it was and why things didn't go the way that you wanted them to go, and then to put that in a place to grow from and to learn from, but then to come back to the platform, not to withdraw, to stay engaged with the leaders, talk with your leaders, and take the positive nuggets from everybody else that's having success, because that gives you that power. Nobody has a great day every day. But when you see the other leaders winning and stuff, you listen to some of the things, write down the things that they're doing, and something, it'll spark something to you. Hey, I should try another way with this, something that you're already dealing with a problem or whatever. So I just try to stay close to you guys. You guys inspire me every day, whether you know it or not. And that's what it is. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here for the whole 5 years. That's what we're doing.
Amazing. Yes. And one thing that he said, hey, it's not going to be great every day, right? And that is what we go through as entrepreneurs, right? You may just see the success, right? The spotlights, but you don't see the journey. You don't see the
Mhm.
struggles. You don't see the objections or the not now. That one thing I seen from Mr. Ridley, he just kept going. He stayed consistent and he did not give up, right? So, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what is I forgot to ask Miss Boyd, but what is your goal? And I'll get back to Miss Boyd. What is your goal from now until convention? What are you trying to achieve in your business so that we can help you? And I think this is recorded, right, you guys? So we can keep you accountable
Yes, let's
that
go. Keep
you
me
can hit
accountable.
that goal.
Yes, yes.
What are you trying to achieve before convention?
Well, I want to get to a consistent place every month where I'm doing more than my 3, 3, and 8, and I'm really starting to push for that. The other thing is I want to be field and then go BD by then, and I'm going to do that because I see the growth from last year. A lot of my reluctance that I had with initially going into schools. Once I started going into schools, I saw that was positive, but I've also added other activity on there. I taken some of the pages out of Miss Princess Map's book, and wherever I'm at, like I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was washing the car, And while I was over there, all these people were out over there because it was sunny. I had my pamphlets in the car. I had my cards in the car, and I handed out about eight pamphlets and cards. And you don't know if that's going to get you anywhere, but I want to get into the habit of always being present wherever I'm at, handing out my materials and being willing to talk to people. So I'm looking at, field director, business director. I want to get more consistent every month on what I'm bringing in as far as putting on my calendar, making those appointments, keeping those appointments, and more than anything, like Miss Elena Taylor, follow up, follow up, follow up, because
Yes.
that's what's going to happen and make good things happen in your pipeline. That's where I'm at right now.
Absolutely. And you will hit that, sir. So
Thank you,
we
man.
have this on
Keep me
recording right
accountable.
now.
Let's
So
go. Let's go.
all right. Thank you, Mr. Ridley. Let's
You're
give it up
welcome.
for Mr. Ridley. I'm gonna bring Miss Taniqua
Let's
Boyd
go,
back
Mr.
on
Ridley.
because I did not
Congratulations, sir.
ask her, and we got to keep her accountable because this is live streaming. Miss Boyd, man, what is your goal before convention?
I want to really start to be more present. And that's I know I want to be a field trainer.
Yes.
And just do more. Like I have to really sit down with my Mr. Hans Augustine and Mr. Sunny Samad to really just go by step on what I need to do to become better at, presenting and stuff like that. So I think
Mhm.
that's more my focus and building and start to really build a team and start to really bring people into this wonderful opportunity.
Yes, definitely. And you will get better and better, Miss Boyd, because you
Mhm,
have those 65 people you have to follow up with.
mhm,
So you will get more confident each time, right?
mhm,
So this is a process, and we're all here to support you, encourage you,
mhm,
and you will get to field director, maybe even business director. Let's just
mhm.
put it out there. You're going to get to business director. So
Thank-
thank you, Miss Boyd. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ridley. Amazing, amazing shares tonight. They dropped some diamonds on you guys tonight. And those are our spotlights for tonight. And I'm going to hand it over to my brother, business director on the other side of the coast. It is probably almost 9 o'clock on the other side, but he's always fired up. I love his passion. The way he serves this platform is no other. I look up to him all the time. Mr. Hans Augustin, you are amazing. He is a definitely do it first leader all the time. He is always out. He's always driving to the next school, you guys. And you definitely want to get your pen and paper because you definitely don't want to miss this training. So, Mr. Hans Augustin, take the Zoom floor.
Thank you, Mrs. Howard. I mean, it got me pumped up mentally.
You did it right like a bandit.
I was gonna try to be calm because I'm always a little hyped. I think that's the Brooklyn thing in me. But I do appreciate the mental support. Uh, Congratulations to Mr. Ridley first. Thank you for continuing your own path of growth, and congratulations to Miss Boyd. I can appreciate these two individuals sincerely because they've been on the long ride. And when you're on a journey to success, it's great to have great companions and business partners. Last week, guys, we had a chance to really kind of dive in to the concept of what we're doing here and what we have access to. I really want this organization, as I actually have had some sincere conversations with Mr. Samad, in realizing that when you get to the platform, you may come here with a bit of yourself, and there's a lot of yourself that you're going to have to be okay with releasing because you've never done this before. And one of the reasons why I think I've come to a very sincere place of understanding that there was something that I heard and I called Mr. Samad. I think it was part of a coaching call, or we might have had some other conversation. I'm saying, oh, I get it now. We're running a McDonald's franchise. I remember a couple months ago, he had reached out to me, said, hey, you got to watch this movie. And it was about the McDonald's franchise. And if you guys if you ever have a chance to really look that up, I'll find the link in the Netflix series and send it to you guys. But the reason why you guys really want to get systematized, myself and Ms. Boyd also had an excellent conversation today while we were in the school. And while we had those moments, I was telling her, I said, what I'm really trying to do is figure out how to make sure not only myself, but the entire organization that we're getting connected to knows how to move accordingly. And I really want you guys to lock into the launch of our OIC business, because I really believe this is where the formula stands. Some of this you may have heard before, but maybe you didn't really hear it right, or maybe you need a refresher. I want you guys to get comfortable with the boring part of your business. One of the things that I had to do in the discipline world was begin to understand that some things will have to stay the same in order to. I was telling Ms. Boyd, I'll be a little bit more transparent tonight. When I built my very first unit, I remember specifically building out that unit. I told her, I said, well, hey, I had a business partner that was involved in the conversation. We did one unit, and essentially all we made that first unit was $6,000 that year, and literally split $3,000 between myself and another couple. The other couple didn't really want to move forward with the idea. But here's where you can make a big mistake at. See, the first unit that I built was my formula. That was my template. That's how I understood how that short-term rental business really worked. I understood that although I did not make the most amount of money that year, you could make a mistake and walk away from the future millions. If somebody's unmuted, let me go ahead and make sure you're muted. I don't know if you guys can hear me properly, but somebody might be unmuted. But essentially, my first year, I almost could have made a mistake, like my business partner did at the time. He left on, they felt like it wasn't working, because the only thing that they saw was the $6,000 amount that was made, meaning that maybe that unit made us $54,000 that year. And after expenses and stuff like that, and kind of getting established with the cost of establishing furniture, we only walked away with $6,000 in profit. My wife and I only walked away with $3,000, but we really had to do the work that year. But that was unit one. That was the template. Right after that, guys, I built multiple locations after that, because I understood the system of what I needed to do in that space during that 12-month period. How to put furniture in place, how to make sure you find the right locations, how to be in a downtown section, where the coffee is supposed to go, where the actual furniture should be, so how clean the unit should be, so that when guests stay there, they know that this is going to be a great place. So when I put it up other units after that, it made it easier because I had a template. This is a long story short, guys, to tell you that I don't want to talk about my business experience, but I came here and I came to do another duplicatable system. I actually showed up really presently with the intent to just make some more money. And let me see if they have something, because I've been looking for an agency system for the longest, and I hadn't been able to identify it, but I found it here. And I realized that within the last year and a half, our ability to duplicate business directors, our ability to bring some of you guys to a level of success, has to do with you acknowledging that there's a system here. I've had multiple conversations with newer agents, older agents, and one of the reasons why this has become more passionate to me is because, unfortunately, you might be convinced that you know the way, but maybe you really don't. Or maybe you're convinced that your idea works, and it could, but you have to kind of learn from whoever you came from. This system came from a gentleman who's been in the business since he was 18 years old, that wrote a playbook that put an Anthony Rubio in position, to be one of the largest members of this particular system. And now in a 2-year period, you guys have seen your own equity partner, your own CEO, business director duplicate this because he learned how to launch his OIC business. He may not be able to want to tell you guys, but I'm going to tell you a little bit tonight as to why this is very important. When Mr. Samad got here, and I hope I'm not overstepping, but I won't say too much. When he got here, there wasn't anybody showing him the ropes. There wasn't anybody here. There were some people that he encountered. There were some people that had some great ideas. There's some great founders. There's some great people, but there wasn't really a system or a template that he could follow. So what he decided to do was create a template that basically says, hey, Ms. Howard, if you want to get to equity partner, let me show you how to get there. Hey, Princess Map, if you really want to get to business director, let me show you a system that's in development and that I've almost got close to perfected that says, hey, Akil Rashid, hey, Mikhail Mecki, hey, Hans Augustin, hey, some of the Sean Hoyer, hey, Brian Swisher. So I want you guys to frame this thought that there are currently 3 equity partners on our organizational team, 8+ business directors, several field directors, and several people who move into associate position. And you guys now have a proven system that you have to somehow begin to acknowledge because this is how you're going to franchise your business here. See, if you go to McDonald's University, you're going to find out that you have to follow their template because they have years of making mistakes and trying to understand how this works so that they can get to a successful system that says, no, this is the fries. The other day we were talking on the phone. McDonald's does not serve crinkle fries. They serve a particular French fries in a red box, and they ask you, do you want salt on it? They probably say it. Everybody says the same thing. Do you want salt? No, you don't want to salt it. They put it in the same red box. So I want you guys to acknowledge tonight, just a little bit of a preview, that let's talk about this 1, 2, 3 go system, and let's talk about it a little bit more intricate. If you want to build a supreme team, our infinite system, you have to acknowledge that this is going to be the best way to go until further notice. That means if you do have a great plan, I'm not saying it's not great, but is it proven? Does it have 3 equity partners? Does it have several business directors? Does it have several grossing associates? Does it have several grossing fielding directors? And does it have a paycheck behind it? See, the reason why my wife allows me to play with you guys all day long is because I have to make some money doing this. I cannot afford personally to not show up with a result. So I had to bow down my ego of no matter what I've been able to accomplish and say, okay, well, what does this 1, 2, 3 go system mean? It really means that if you really want to get your next business partner that you bring onto this platform into equity ownership, business director, potential CEO director, or any other level, you got to start with a perfect game plan. Interview. You got to discover the reason why they're here on the platform, because you know what? Let me tell you my why. I told people the biggest mistake I've made in business thus far was the inability to duplicate Hans Augustin and Lamika Augustin. See, because we're talented, we can create results. We've been creating results since we were 13 years old. But how do I create the other person that is me? Now, I found it to be true in real estate because real estate just means that you're moving property to property to property, or small business location to another location, and you duplicate the same thing. What reason why we were successful in real estate? Because we found out the template to how that worked, and we was like, okay, rinse and repeat. Do the same thing over again. Same style, same type of furniture, same furniture store, same locations, same home goods. We went and shopped at the same place over and over. We created a list. So here, our list says, by the way, we have to walk you through a game plan interview. And if you don't discover what Hans's why or your business partner why, you're going to have a challenge to be able to help them navigate this conversation. You got to get them through an F&A. Do you know why I realized the Boss Up was powerful? The other day I was talking to Miss Francis, and she made me realize it the most. I won't tell you her business, but I had to find out what were her needs. And we had to come up with a solution because she needed to be properly protected. The reason why you're doing the boss up is because your business partner needs to study how the needs analysis is, or you as an individual have to understand their needs to make sure that when they walk out the door, do they represent what is possible for the client? And the reason why the F&A becomes even clearer, guys, is because I just realized that, wow, how can I leave my own business partner naked and afraid, excuse my language, and they're not properly covered? And if they have children, if they have husbands and wives and people that are counting on, so I got to fight as a business director to say, yes, I know this might not be exactly what you thought, but we got to make sure you're good first. See, because it says financially empower yourself and be your first paycheck. Because yes, when you do write that business, you will be able to develop a income. But do you know what I found out what was more important? But what if your business partner was the one that died tomorrow? And the only thing you were thinking about was how you can turn her or him into a paycheck, but they're not insured, but you want to go out and talk to other clients about how well they need to be insured or how they can retire properly. Well, let me tell you about the 100-person list. Tonight's going to take a little bit slow, so we're not in a rush, but I'm going to get off on time. The 100-person list, the reason why it's important, guys, if you've never done it before, we're not mad at you. But let me tell you what's exciting about this 100-person list. We did a grand opening for Miss Alima Payne the other night, and she had a very successful one because we sat down and said, who are the names of the people that are connected to you, that's part of your natural network, people that you've encountered before, people that are friends and family, aunties, uncles, and others. And maybe there's a little bit of fear there, but I don't want you to have any fear because this is just a way for us to be able to tell people that you are establishing location, because the 100-person list is her natural way of establishing a way to engage people through her grand opening. The grand opening is very powerful because the brand new agent gets a chance to see, well, what are we really working with? Well, what we're really working with is the wealth formula. If you've heard about it before, I'm almost going to say you probably didn't, because even for myself, we've been engaged in business. Nobody sat down with me and said, hey, Hans, let me break down how you can formulate wealth in a systematic way. And nothing about the grand opening says anything about insurance. It's all about education and engagement, and it teaches you exactly how money works. I've never got off a grand opening and somebody's been like, not said, wow. Most people be like, I've never heard this before. I'm glad you invited me. Well, what does this really do? If you are opening a traditional business and you had a Popeyes franchise, or you had a new restaurant, or you had the ability to open up a particular business, my first unit, we invited several people to our first unit, not only to see it, and we had got multiple reservations from it. People are like, oh, I'd like to stay here. This is really nice. I'd like to relax one weekend. Oh, I have a friend. And that's exactly what we do here in this business. You need to make this so natural and so uncomplicated. And Hans will tell you, dude, he almost made it uncomplicated. But let me tell you why I believe in it so much. I didn't know I was going to make 20 grand my first month here, but I did, because I said, let me follow the system of, sure, interview me. Sure, teach me how to boss up. I couldn't write a policy on myself, but I wrote a couple of annuities. Then I ended up writing my son. So I bossed up in the way that I could. That's possible. It doesn't need to be $500 per month, but are we really telling ourselves that we can't even educate a client to put $25 away on a term policy, $50, $100? Because the money's really there because we discovered it on the F&A. See, what you're really doing at the first conversation with the individual is you're teaching them a way that they can start to develop business, and then you're already formatting them for the idea that when they become a business director, they are able to run a system. Well, what's next? And you're saying, hey, in the game plan interview, what are you really doing there? You are teaching and modeling knowledge there. The game plan says, hey, providing training of the model for recruiting agents, and the system introduces every new agent to the BD that preserves the success of every new agent. Do you know why, if you're on Miss Howard's team, you need to get that new agent to her? She's the one that's the lead. Why would you want to introduce an associate to another associate? Yeah, you could introduce him. Maybe he's doing very well. But Miss Howard is the one that's hit equity partner. Miss Howard's the one that strived for business director. So at this moment, until further notice, she's the individual that if you're part of her organization, if you can't find her, then you get to a Sunni Samad who's above her to say, hey, Miss Howard's unavailable. Would you be okay with doing this game plan interview? You know why I didn't want to do a game plan interview my first time? I didn't know anything. I know how to make money outside, but I didn't know how to make money here. So every time I had a new agent, I was like, well, let me introduce him to Mrs. Simon. Hey, discover the why. What's hurting you? Well, what was hurting Hans Augustin was like, yeah, we got plenty of funds available in the account, but do I have any level of freedom to move outside of a week? Meaning that if I leave my businesses for more than a week, I got a problem. Just keeping it 100 with you. So when I came here, I was like, you know what? What's another way that I can create wealth? Because we were on a journey to find wealth. And what Mr. Samad said was, hey, why are you here, Hans? I told him, I was like, listen, I'm trying to figure out my path to freedom here. I've seen this conversation about agency before. I've seen people sell me leads. I've seen people tell me you could do all these great things, but they didn't tell me how to duplicate myself. If you could teach me that, then you got my attention. That was my why. Well, who are you? If we are asking someone who there is, what should they say? What do you want? What are you looking to get from this business? This is how the how is where we come in, and our job is to remain coachable and follow the system. See, I understand it now, Mr. Samad. I'm clear. I got to get so good at this game plan interview that these are your touching points of conversation. When you find out the reason why, now it might sound emotional, it might sound kind of quirky, but it's true. If you learn how to develop people here, you'll end up making a tremendous amount of money. If I don't learn how to develop a Miss Boyd, as she just said on the phone, on the call, then I'm losing the potential that she may have inside of her that creates the potential for me to have a level of freedom. If I don't become available enough to a Mr. Ridley and be able to coach him through the process of development, then I don't get a chance to have my freedom. So you learn these game plan interviews, you learn the personalities of the people that you're talking to, and you position them properly to say, who's the best person to talk to? You know what, Miss Francis, I want to introduce you to a Miss Howard. I think she'd be a great example as a woman. Let me introduce you to Miss Princess Map. Based on what you said to me, it sounds like you guys have a similar story. I think she'd be really encouraging to talk to you. Just before today, I called Marilyn Granado, who's on my organization. I said, you know what? Tomorrow we're going to meet for 30 minutes so we could take the next step. Because based on what you told me on the game plan interview, you really want to get into schools. So now it's my job as a business director, because if I didn't do the game plan interview, I wouldn't know what to say to her this afternoon. Well, you got to figure out this F&A thing. Now, this F&A thing, guys, let me give you my personal opinion. This is the beauty of the business. See, because on the F&A, you're doing it for your client eventually, but you learn how to do it well with your agents first. You're doing it for your clients in the future, but you train with your agents first. See, when the agent gets to see you do it, they're learning. When you're doing with the agent, you're also developing. Because you think you got it. I told Ms. Boyd the other day, after a year and a half of training, now our teacher appointments are picking up a little bit more speed. But do you know how I was able to do that? It's because you learn how to develop. You sat down on the first time, Mr. Samad said, well, let's break down your situation first. Let's go through your scenario. What's your needs? That was my first training ground of what my future looked like. And then he says, you know what? We've done enough appointments together. You've identified how this really works. Now you go do it. You're developed enough where you can go do it, and now you can go train people. Well, hey, the FNA is both a training and an opportunity for the BD to gain trust in the client appointment process. An FA is a simple and systematic approach to clients that produce repeatable success. See, now, this boy will tell you, the FNA has gotten so sweet. We just got off a phone right now. Hopefully it closes. We did the application. I just got to go get the actual paperwork, $167,000 annuity through an FNA. I did it with Mr. Eli Paul. We just got one more thing to get. I'll meet with her on Tuesday. We'll get the fidelity document. But it was because I learned the system of finding money. In the FNA, you find out, who are we talking to? What is the name of the children that's important to them? Well, tonight's children was Lilia and Rosario. And I learned when I got to the Get Started Right, hey, talk about the children. Who is important to them? Well, what are we really on this phone call for? What are we trying to close? The asset side. How much money is leaving? What else is important to you? We got to do the dime. We got to find out why we can end up talking to you in the future. See, we did the annuity tonight, but then there's a life insurance problem that they didn't really want to discuss. They had some coverage, but I said, next time we meet, we got to discuss this amount. We got to figure out how to close this gap. But hey, FNA is a third-party tool that removes the pressure for the agent in the client's appointment and builds confidence over time. Your confidence, the client's confidence. See, if you're skipping this step, you're losing a lot of money. But we get a chance to change it we get a chance to train it from the official beginning. Because you did the game plan interview and you told the new agent, by the way, the next step is that we got to do an FNA. We got to make sure you're properly protected. We got to make sure your children are covered. Because if I just help the Rosario family, that was the Chicalese family, I got to make sure you're good too. And we got to find a way to properly protect you and prepare you for retirement. I've told most of the members of our organization, hey, it'd be cool to make sure that everybody's safe. But what if we got to make sure our umbrella and our backpacks are okay? I'm not doing this, guys, just to make sure that people retire better. I'm doing this so the Augustine family can retire better too. So the same information, so we got to learn the process. Hey, FNA is done on the new agent to be their own client and boss up. If licensed, this is a commissional business for the new agent. And you know we got to get them paid. See, that was the mistake I was making, guys. I'll tell you, I'm so transparent. You can't ever talk about me. If you want to, do so, because I'm so confident there's nothing you can say about me that will make a difference. See, but I came here to learn a system that will make me millions of dollars, possibly you $100,000, or possibly make you $10 million if you're willing to follow it. And don't be afraid of my number. If you're afraid of my number, that's your problem. I'm not mad at you. I'm just telling you the truth tonight because we came here to build big businesses. We got big dreams. We got big beliefs. We're spending a lot of time together. We have to come up with results. And one of the ways that you're going to result is you're going to tell the brand new agent, you're important too. You're important too. If you believe you're important, then your client's going to believe that they're important when you make the recommendation. See, I know I'm confident when I'm talking about annuities because I got annuities. I know I'm confident when I'm talking about the IUL because I bought my wife an IUL because I can't get one. About to do some Roths with my two kids. I'm about to improve their insurance policies too. So when I'm talking to people, I'm not telling you anything less than what I've done. Now, hey, boss up. Believe. See, I tell you, I've read this thing so well. I'm talking about it ahead. Boss up. Believe, own, and share your success. It says we sell an intangible product. You are the intangible embodiment of this service, which means that when I start talking $1 million, I'll be like, let me show you Jalen's policy first. Let me show you my son's policy. Let me show you how he's going to get to $1 million. That was one of the first policies that I wrote here. I can't talk about $1 million baby if my kids ain't $1 million baby. Now, be careful what I'm saying, brand new agent. You will get there If you can't do it now financially, it's okay, but let's make sure the basics are in place. And as you grow financially, we'll help you get to the $1 million. That's not what we said, but we're doing the F&A because we need to discover how we can help you and the client navigate to your future. But the first person is you. You can't save your kids if you don't have your own parachute on. And if you want to put something in place for your kids, sure, when we get it financially, we'll put it together. But now we got a picture of what we could do today and what we're going to be able to do tomorrow for you and your family. Same thing for the client, but you're modeling it to the agent up front. Hey, it says Boss Up gives you the proper conviction and belief, transitions the agent from sales agent to servicing agent. I used to sell, but I don't sell anymore. You know what? People have a problem with me right now, and I know it. You can't tell me I'm not going to be successful. You just can't, because I don't sell anymore. I provide value. I'm building relationships. I'm building clients. I'm building opportunity. I'm opportunity for the next person who wants to be a millionaire like me. The next person who says, I want to show you how to create value. I'm not a sales guy. That's not my problem. That might be yours. But the reason why we're telling you to follow this system is because, listen, myself and Ms. Boyd had a wonderful conversation. Yes, we did 7 appointments back to back yesterday. Ask her. And we were exhausted. Exhausted. And we was like, man, how many more appointments do I got to do this the rest of my life? And I just said, it's okay. We do it now today, but we're building a future on how we can train it to other people. Now, you can't tell me 7 appointments back to back is not possible, because we figured out a system and we learned it from the possibility. Because what happens is it gives you the proper conviction and belief, and it transitions the agent. That's what happens. Your confidence gets boosted. Now, one more point, because we're not going to be able to cover everything tonight. I want you to lock in this piece before we close up tonight. See, this is where I made a mistake. There's hundreds of $1,000s in your 100-person list. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Listen to me very clearly. There is hundreds of thousands of people that are dollars in your 100-person list. I've done maybe my 3rd grand opening and still have more to do. And I've developed clients every time I went to that list. I've developed agents every time. The other day we did Miss Alima Payne's, whatchamacallit. One of the ladies is now about to sign up to become an agent. She's starting up on Friday. That was from her grand opening. That was somebody on her list. I get it, Mrs. Samad, my bad, too late, running with, but I'm here, I'm back. I'm just telling you guys the truth so you understand. Hey, schedule an appointment to create. So that was a problem I had. I was like, I ain't got time to walk you through no list. I'm like, what are you, a baby? That's what I was saying in my head. Forgive me. But I was like, yes, you know what? Let's walk you through that list. Hey, do not depend on the new agent to produce it alone. Most of them will not do it. And after many times I've failed, Mrs. Smart, they don't do it. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. But now I'm listening because I want to get to $1 million and I want to get to it very quickly and I want to get to it fast. My wife is not waiting for me to be behind 7 appointments the rest of my life all day long. She's like, you better get to as many 100-person lists so that you can relieve yourself from this duty quickly. My granddaughter was pitching on my back the whole time I was here on one of the appointments. Pop, I need your attention. Well, Hans, you know what she just said? Build a 100% list even faster. Because if you're going to be on your appointments all the rest of your life, that's not a business. That's you. I'm just telling you the truth. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Hey, if new agents quit, this inventory list is added to your inventory. It's true. Do you know what really happens here sometimes, guys? Tonight's leadership night. So please, this is big board conversation. We've been having big board conversation. What really happens is that for some reason you left your agent behind. Hey, can I be honest, George Ridley? I didn't bring you on board, sir. Somebody brought you on board and they left you behind. And I said, okay, I'll work with him. And he wrote 4. They left 5 applications behind. Let's keep it real, guys. I'm giving it to you real. They left 5 applications. Now they're getting a little touch, but they're not getting what the BD's getting. I ain't mad at her. I'm happy. Thank you, person who bought on George Ridley. I'm not mad. I'm just letting you guys know that, yes, we end up inheriting it. If they don't want to finish the journey, we're not mad at them, but we got to get them to start the journey right. Why? Hey, this list must be 100 names or better, and let's set the expectation. Now, Hans was the first one to tell you a couple people got away with murder. So I was like, yeah, get it done. But I have to now I said, no, let's do the list. Now, I can't force you to do lists. If you want to move into another direction, I get it. We're going to follow your game plan. But what I have seen, guys, unfortunately, when we don't get people to do that, they suffer sometimes. It becomes a little bit more of a challenge. Hey, agent does not have to be in a recent contact to write these names on the list. Set a date to use a 3-way calling with BA. Invite the guests to the grand opening. I called with Ms. Payne. Because you know what? We're developing. We're moving. Here's what I had to find out, guys. Let me just follow my lead, and we're going to close here, and I want to pass the call back on. Because this is going to be a step-by-step process. See, sometimes we run in too fast, and we're not catching the dream, and we're not catching the vision, and we don't understand that we're building a franchise. You can go anywhere around the world, and you will find a McDonald's. Same drive-through, same arches, same pitch, same cashier. Now there's no more cashiers. You go in, automated. Bring the food out in the front. Most people are using, but they've been running that system so long that they run it. But let me tell you guys something that's very important. Let me tell you guys, it says, hey, the reason why you want to slow down right here, if there's anything that I told you tonight, slow down right here. This is where your next business partners are coming from. The other night, I didn't know a Patricia from nowhere. Didn't know a Patricia from anywhere. Well, we did that list. We found her. She got invited. Now she says, I like this. It's something I've been thinking about doing. She says, I'm interested. We did a 3-way call. And now she says, hey, I did another call with her. That Miss Asmus on board. Hey, give me a minute. I got to talk to this new agent. She's coming on board. Hey, send her the name. This is the link that you got to follow up with. But this is where you get your opportunities from. I don't know what she's going to end up doing. I don't know who else she's going to bring on board. I don't know if she's my next BD, but somewhere in this 100-person list, your $1 million person is sitting there, and you're literally throwing people in the garbage like I did for 1.5 years. I'm not talking about this from a standpoint of I did a little work, I followed through, but even Hans can be hard-headed. I'm just being transparent. The reason why I took the veil of transparency on, I'm trying to win. There's no ego here. There's no whatchamacallit here. There's no, hey, teach me the special sauce. Hey, Brad, what next coaching call, next meeting? I'm trying to figure this out. Hey, listen, says we are in the finance industry, but the people business. This is where I made the mistake, Mr. Saman. Because you know what? You come from Brooklyn, keeping it 100 with you guys, and you come from the real estate business, and you come from certain expectations, and you come from certain scenarios, people sometimes don't become part of the conversation. Listen, get this done. I don't know what you're talking about. Send me the paperwork. I don't know what you're talking about. That was my attitude sometimes. Send me that check. I don't know what you're talking about. I love Jesus too, but sometimes I could be different. I'm just letting you guys tell you the truth, but I realize, hey, if we're going to build here, if I need to build human capital, I have to have a relationship with George. I can't have expectations of George. I got to have a relationship with George. I can't have expectations of Ms. Boyd. I got to have a relationship. So, hey, Ms. Boyd, you in the room too? I'm in the room too. You bringing donuts? I'm bringing donuts too. How are you doing today? Hey, Marilyn, are you okay? Is everything good? We got to take the next step. Mr. Taylor, I'm coming down next week. We're in the people business. So the reason why I learned it now, I understand, hey, people are our inventory. No inventory, no business. Now, the reason why this people part works is because this 100-person list could be your business partner. This 100-person list could be your next client. This 100-person list could be your next equity partner. It could be your next business director. It could be your next $167,000 rollover. Because I got that. Mr. Samad, did we not close off the grand opening $150,000 annuity off my warm list? Did we not close several IULs that were $300-400 off of our grand opening list? Call me a liar if you want to, but I got proof. And now I had to correlate it to now like, okay, well, you know what? When Alima Payne comes in or Miss Marilyn Granado, the new agent, slow down. Now, maybe you don't want to do it. I got it. But I know that if we don't do it right, there's something that's going to be missing out of your business. There's going to be a paycheck that's not here yet because we're in business. This is the last part, and I'm going to pass the call over to Miss Howard. There's more slides, but you guys don't got the depth tonight because I have to take it slow. You got to bite this apple one at a time. The reason why I want you guys to understand this is because we're in business. Remember, I started with the idea that my first unit, it was a year later, and only thing I had left in profit was $3,000. Sometimes in business, not everything happens at the jump. Maybe you could make $100,000 your first deal. Doesn't mean you know how to do it again. But do you know what happened after a year? I won't tell you my numbers. You just think I'm crazy. It's just like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Bam, second unit. Now I know what I'm doing. Third unit. Now I know what I'm doing. Fourth unit. Now I know what I'm doing. So this is the development stage. This part right here, guys, is where you got to become an expert. I want you to lock in and say, how do I become an expert at a game plan interview? How do I become an expert in F&A and bossing my team up? How do I become an expert? That's what I changed my frame thought. Hey, how do I become an expert in helping you develop? Doesn't mean I got it right the first time, but the next time, the next agent. So now, then when we do grand openings, 20 people here, 25 people here, 30 people here. That's your equity partner somewhere in that list. That's your rollover coming from your list. That's your next IUL coming from that list. This is your next business partner, your new introduction. Grand openings have opened up so many doors here. Hey, today, I just want you guys to understand what you're sitting on. I almost want to cry sometimes. I want you guys to understand what you're sitting on. 2 years ago, there was no framework on this organization. Don't be in a rush, but learn the system well enough and become a master at it. I called Mr. Samad, I said, you can't get rid of me. I told Mr. Samad, I called him that, I said, you're not going to be able to get rid of me yet. Why? Because I want to master this thing so that when I walk away, I'm another Harvard University. See, the difference between understanding the ability to master something is when you can duplicate it at such a high level that you now have positioned yourself for almost like fortitude. And I want you guys to become very clear that this first part alone is what now gets you into the niche, is now what positions you to build agency because you know how to do this well. Because you'll find out that the conversation is going to say, hey, we got this. We're going to end up doing this. You're going to know the timelines. You're going to know the activities, but you're running a system. It's hard to give it to you all in one, but just listen for 1 second, guys. Just stop for 1 second. Position your business to be so strong that it's impossible for people to penetrate you. Because you're building people. If I didn't stop to care, there's no way that I would have people connected to me. There'd be nobody to lead. There'd be nobody to talk to. This is the first part, because let me tell you guys, if not, the only other thing I know in this business, you got to spend money then.
Sir.
If you don't spend money, you're not going to talk to anybody. I talked to somebody the other day. He's like, yo, I spent $8,500 for an event. He made his money, but he had to spend $8,500. But that's what happens in real business, guys. In real business, you open up a McDonald's franchise, they're not asking you for it's not pennies on a dollar. Hey, I need your deposit. I need you to make sure you got this construction, there's this, there's that. Ask Ms. Boyd. You build something, you got to pay for it. But here, what we're saying is $125 investment, and you follow this system of talking to people correctly, developing the people to position them in the spots that they need to be. Now, you can't force anybody, but I'm not getting behind any parked cars. You park your car, it's okay. I'm going to find another car to get into.
Sir.
But in the meantime, take the 125 investment and don't disrespect it. You know why? Because in other businesses, you might have to show up with $100,000. You might have to, before you can make your money back. But you do 125, you take somebody to a grand opening and they show you that they have $150,000. Do $150,000 times 6.5%. You will make 10 grand.
Yes, sir.
You take an IUL. Go ahead,
Mr.
sir.
Gustin, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, brother, I great training. Unfortunately, we do got to wrap this
No
up
problem, sir.
before we
No
can
problem.
open up this other call. Because I don't want to get in trouble by Kim and Marlena and them, and them ladies. So you know, but great call, right, you guys? Right? Turn it back over to you, Miss Kim, to close us out. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Well, thank you, Mr. Augustine, for that wonderful reminder, you guys, because this is our system, right? So if you feel stuck in your business, you go back to our 1, 2, 3, go system. If you're just starting in this business, you go back to the system. So I just don't want to take up too much of your time because the ladies have to run to the $1 million baby. Make sure you guys get your guests on tonight. Make sure they're registered, and amazing call tonight. Congratulations to all the people
Yes,
that were
yes, yes,
spotlighted.
yes,
A
yes.
reminder, definitely register for convention. The link was posted on the chat. It will be posted during our calls. Okay, so make sure we're trying to get this number up and make Supreme Team the best team in OIC. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
See you guys on the $1 Million Baby. Hope y'all got some guests. Mr. Gustin, thank you so much, brother. Great training.